Hey, you guys, it's your boy iBornstellar coming at you with a new video. Now, this one is about Battlefield 6. So, the last couple of days, I've been playing Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 just as a throwback, just to go back and, see what it was like to play, those older games. Battlefield 3 came out in 2011, so, it's just about almost 15 years old, right? And Battlefield 4 in 2013, so about 12, 13 years old, right? So those games are still playable right now, right? And they're full of content. Granted, there's not that many players still playing Battlefield 3. Battlefield 4 still has, far many players than 3. And 6, well, let's check out the charts. So this game, Battlefield 6 really came out swinging, I would say. It started out with over 600,000, peak players when it came out, which is like total success, no questions asked. Like EA Dice just hit a home run, like a really home run, and just brought everybody back home and just like obliterated the competition. I'm pretty sure Call of Duty, what are we up to? Black Ops 7, I want to say that not so good game that came out was well, players did not like it basically, right? That's the short end of that. And people were flocking more towards more grounded game, right? So that's why they like Battlefield 6, right? And it shows. Let me see. So this one actually has a bit more players. I want to say 700,000 at the peak. But ever since then, it's been, I don't want to say steadily declining, but ever since about November, the graph keeps going down and down and down. So we were at about 500, 400,000 back in November. In about the middle of December, we're down to a little under 200,000. Now it's the beginning of January, and we're dipping below 100,000. Now, I don't know about you guys, but this is not good. The game is only 3 months old. If we compare this to, oh yeah, there we go, Arc Raiders. How's Arc Raiders doing? Yeah, that these two numbers should just tell the whole story. Look at this. They came out. Let me see. When did this come out? I want to say like around December or something. 200,000 to almost 300,000 to 78. Uh, they've been going up and up, and yeah, they're doing very well, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. And so, why is it? I mean, Arc Raiders is a very different type of game to Battlefield 6, right? They're both shooters. Arc Raiders, as I understand, is a Tarkov style extraction shooter, but a bit more casual friendly, let's say, because it's third person. And it's a bit more forgiving, I want to say, than Tarkov, because Tarkov is just complete, simulation type thing. You die, that's it. There's no coming back. Um, and so yeah, looting and trying to extract loot from a map and trying to extract successfully without dying, and it's really fun, I would say, right? So that's why it's doing so well. Whereas Battlefield 6, it's more of a you know normal, let's say, or a regular type of multiplayer setting where it's just two teams against each other. You know, win or lose, it is what it is. Nobody wins or loses anything actually, right? You're just trying to level up your character, trying to unlock new weapons, trying to unlock new skins, new attachments, new gadgets, so on and so forth. So it's more of a normal game, right, in that regard, compared to Arc Raiders. So I would say maybe that's the leg up that Arc Raiders has over Battlefield 6, right? But with that said, many people are talking about this, right? If you go on YouTube and you just type Battlefield 6, people are saying that it's losing players, right? Is it dying? Mm, maybe. Uh, People posting their reviews. Some people are saying that Season 2 is gonna make or break Battlefield 6, right? And some people are just done, right? Like I've played, let me check. I played about 177 hours so far for both Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4. I think Battlefield 3 I played around 400 hours, and for Battlefield 4 a little under 500 hours. So I play the crap out of those games, right? And so, you know, you have this article here from IGN, right? RGN, right? You can't spell ignorant without IGN. Let's get that joke out of the way, right? But anyway, here they're talking about, Battlefield 6, and after 3 months of, since the launch window, it's been steadily declining. And so, yeah, here's a meme, talking about like you were interested in playing, and then the update ruined it. Like that update with Breakthrough, right, where they thought, you know, all these defenders, they have they have too many they have too many vehicles, right? So let's just take them all away and give more to the attackers. So that makes sense, right? And it's like, no, that makes no sense. Like, just leave it. People are having a good time just the way it is. Like, defenders should be winning, just as many times as the attackers. Like, just because sometimes it doesn't happen that way doesn't mean that it's not balanced. I mean, come on, play your game and figure out what's really wrong with it instead of just like making all these random changes to it that people might not like. I haven't played Breakthrough in a while because all of a sudden, if you're attacking, you're pretty much always gonna win because defenders are just overwhelmed because they don't have any vehicles to defend basically, right? So, and it's like, yeah, losing steam. Why is the game losing steam? The game is only 3 months old. What happened? Like Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 were able to keep their steam going, let's say, right? With their DLCs. And granted, the first few DLCs for Battlefield 3 and 4 were not amazing, but they were good enough to keep players, interested. Now, why is that? Well, if you check out the season 1, what exactly did we get in season 1? Right? California Resistance. We got, let me see. Yes, if I look it up real fast. I should have had this up when it came out. Let me see. There should be a good image here showing everything that we got. Here we go. So here we go, right? So we had Blackwell. Let me try it again. Blackwell Fields, right? Did you guys like that map? Because I liked it, but it wasn't great. Like if you were playing, any vehicles, you would just get completely obliterated because there was no cover. And if you were a foot soldier, yeah, there was some cover, but snipers, oh man, snipers had a great time in this map, right? And yeah, they introduced a little, what do they call AMRAPs, I think, from the military. Those big ass vehicles that are not impervious, but they are very resistant to IEDs, right? So they explode and they don't get blown up completely, right? The people inside the vehicle survive. So yeah, those kind of big trucks basically that was introduced, and cool addition, right? But it was just that, right? Just a small addition. We got some new weapons, I guess, and Strike Point, which is like, who asked for a new game mode? I didn't. I think is what 4v4. That's not Battlefield. That's Call of Duty. Like we play Battlefield 6 to play Battlefield, not Call of Duty. Like I realize people like Call of Duty were not thrilled with Black Ops 7 and we're coming over to Battlefield 6, as refugees, let's say, and we're hoping to play something similar to what they're used to in Call of Duty. But Battlefield 6 should be catering to Battlefield players, and I'm pretty sure that's the main thing that's holding back Battlefield 6 right now. They're catering to people that don't really play their game, to Call of Duty players basically, right? That are they don't have a game right now that's worthwhile, so they're here and they're complaining about Battlefield not being Call of Duty, and all of a sudden EA is changing Battlefield 6 into Call of Duty, 4 or NW2 or something like that. And those games are great, but I want to play Battlefield. I want to play as a foot soldier. I want to play, as in a tank. I want to play in a jet. I want to play in a helicopter. I want to play in a boat, if possible, like in Battlefield 4 with Parasol Storm. Like all of those ways to play are what make Battlefield so amazing, right? Like, you start out in an ATV. You find a tank. You get in. You get a few kills, right? And just before you blow up, maybe you get out. Oh man, there's a helicopter that just landed. You killed the pilot maybe, and he was repairing. Now you can get to steal his helicopter, and you go on a rampage. You get blown up. Now you spawn in the jet, and maybe you do a few runs, and maybe you can take out their jets, and maybe you get taken out by the AA, and just before you blow up, you parachute and you land on the freaking building. You take out a few snipers, and just in 5 minutes you did all that. And it's like, that's awesome, right? That's what we want. We want Battlefield. EA and Dice, if you're listening, you're probably not, and I'm sad about that. But if you're listening, we want to play Battlefield, and Battlefield is infantry, vehicles in the ground and in the air, and also in the water, and just like all out warfare. You call it all out warfare in the freaking menu in your game, and we don't get that. All right, let's go back. California Resistance, right? They had Eastwood. That map is pretty good, I would say, right? There are some parts like the golf course is completely empty. I wish there was like like a flag there that we could, that they could add so people would actually go to that area because that area is really fun. Even though it's really open, it's really fun to just drive around with a vehicle. And they added battle pickups. Why do we need battle pickups? I mean, the weapons they added was what a minigun and what was the other thing? Like it was like some kind of what do they call the rail guns, I think. And okay, cool, right? Didn't need them. No one asked for them. Don't add this stuff, right? The double barrel shotgun that has to be one of the worst weapons they could have ever added. That thing is complete crap. The revolver is actually pretty fun to use. Actually, I like that. And they added some other attachment that's universal. Great, right? And then finally we had the Winter Offensive with the one of the smallest maps in Empire State in snow format, right? Which it looks good. If you like snowy maps, you'll probably enjoy this. And it was fun for maybe one, two, three, five, 10 times that you played it, right? But after that, it gets old because it's only infantry. There are no vehicles, there are no jets, no helicopters. It's just infantry. And if you like infantry gameplay, great. This is for you, I suppose. But we're playing Battlefield. And what did I say Battlefield is? Infantry and vehicles, right? This has no vehicles. So this is basically just Call of Duty. So anyway, season two supposedly is gonna have these new weapons. It's gonna add the little bird, the jet ski, and some other gadgets. Amazing. But we need larger maps, please. Dice, EA. Um, you guys got to do something basically, right? I mean, this is ridiculous. Another thing, right? The skins. This game touted itself as a very grounded, very realistic. Like people were making fun of Call of Duty with all of its ridiculous skins. Nicki Minaj, SpongeBob, freaking Beavis and Butthead skins in Call of Duty, which is just it looks stupid, right? It looks ridiculous. Maybe it's just for fun, whatever, right? Don't take itself too seriously. I guess that's okay, but still, it looks ridiculous. It looks absurd. And Dice and EA, I guess, thought, all right, people don't like that, so let's go the opposite way, which is, more grounded, more realistic. And guess what? The Lead the Way pack with the Army Rangers, right? This was one of their most successful packs. I'm pretty sure a lot of people actually bought this thing because look at the skin. The skin looks amazing. Like if you, let me see, I had the tab open for, yeah, here, the Army Rangers, right? I don't know if you guys have seen this video of, the loadout of Army Rangers. They're their equipment, their uniforms, and all of the the stuff that they carry around with them when they're out in missions. It's really amazing, right? All the equipment that they use, all the guns, that they use, their helmets, their pack, everything, And so EA and Dice were, they were on point with this one, right? The rest of them were kind of silly looking, all this stuff on the vehicles. Maybe it was a little much, but the main skin, good job, right? More of this, right? No silly colors, no oranges, no purples, no blues, no reds, just like grounded in reality, you know, operator, badass stuff that, the real Navy SEALs and, Delta Force operators. Like, let's be honest, right now, all this stuff with Venezuela and, Delta Force, it's going on right now. Like, hello, EA, can you like make a Delta Force, pack right now because they're so relevant right now? Like those guys they went into another country and they raided a freaking presidential palace and got the main guy out of there without anyone getting killed, without any of our guys getting killed. That's amazing, right? So you are dropping the ball by not having like some kind of a Delta Force, operator pack for these guys because these guys are badass, right? I would love to play as one of these dudes in the game, right? So yeah, badass skins, please. And Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I mean, I'm sure whatever is coming out in season two of Battlefield 6 is already set, so there's no way to change it. Let's hope that they actually add, good maps, right? Because let's see, I think this was a thread about which maps, yeah, favorite maps. Some people were saying, Strike a Karkin, that's one that's classic, Amiens, I'm not sure which is that one because I didn't play Battlefield 1 all that much. Propaganda, I don't recall which is that one. Grand Bazaar, I remember that one. That's pretty good. Strike Peninsula was pretty good too. Slower down. Yeah, Scenic Crossing. Yeah, people rush in Conquest. Now that we have Breakthrough, right? Conquest maps like Caspian Border, especially Peristyle Storm. Peristyle Storm is probably one of the most special maps for me from Battlefield 4. Because like all those boats and all those waves that were like synchronized, that was like new tech or whatever back in the day. That was really amazing. Why don't we have that? Like I'm hoping that that's like coming out in like maybe season three, season four, right? Like naval warfare or something, right? Like I really hope that that's the case, right? Caspian Border, we should have like a remake of that, just like Operation Firestorm. Like Caspian Border is one of the best maps in any Battlefield game. Like I don't know about you guys, but when the beta came out for Battlefield 3 and I played that the first time, that thing was amazing because it was so pretty. Like, oh, look at all this green, look at the big blue sky. There's a mountain, there's like a huge tower, like there's like a little river, all these military installations in the forest. Like this is a really really cool map, and it was a really fun map to play too. As a sniper, as an engineer, as an assault, as a support. You could be in a tank, you could be in a helicopter, you could be in a jet. This was a battlefield map. This is Battlefield, right? Caspian Border to me is like the perfect map out of like all the maps that I can think of to play Conquest, right? And let's say Rush. How many of you guys played Diamond and Peak Rush? I don't know if you guys remember that. Like it was a very very linear map, but there was like a part in the map where like you drop down from a really high height, right? And you fell down as the what you call it, the things were getting destroyed and blown up, and you were getting chased by the enemies, and you had to like drop down to the next location, right? Like we do in Breakthrough, let's say, right, or Russian Battlefield 6. But that sense of urgency, right? Of oh crap, all of the emplacements got destroyed. Now we gotta evacuate and we gotta drop down and parachute our way down to the next location. That was really cool, right? So more, I don't want to say just copy the same. I mean, maybe just remake it, maybe make something similar, maybe something, right? Like make something cool like that again is what I'm saying, basically, right? I mean, Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 has a wealth of older maps and game modes. Well, I mean, Rush is already in Battlefield 6, but just the maps, right? The maps. Focus on the maps. I think the maps is what's killing Battlefield 6. Not having large maps that make it so you can play Battlefield the way Battlefield is meant to be played, which, like I said, let me reiterate: foot soldiers, tanks, helicopters, jets, and if possible, boats. Those five things, right? All coming together for all-out warfare. That is what makes Battlefield, Battlefield, EA, and DICE, if you're listening. Make more of that, and all of a sudden, this graph, right? If I can see it, go to the other one. It's gonna go up. It's gonna go up. Right now, it's going down. We want it to go up, right? We want the game to, be successful and have players to play with, because otherwise, the game is dead. And now we're hoping for Battlefield 7 to somehow resurrect the franchise once more because Battlefield 6 kind of did die. It kind of resurrected Battlefield in a way. We were really hoping 2042 was going to do that, and they dropped the ball big time, right? So this is just being a long rant, but I'm just hoping that they turn it around, right? And make Battlefield basically great again. Let's just say that, right? Let's just be cheeky and just say that. Just add bigger maps. I think bigger maps will solve the issue that people are having because I'm sure many people that play Battlefield and they go into a map, maybe they're new players, right? Let's say they just bought the game, they start the game, they go into a map they've never played, and they're like, all right, I'm playing Battlefield. Where are the tanks? Where are the helicopters? Where are the spawns for the jets? And there's none. And they're like, wait, did I buy Call of Duty by accident? Like, what the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure people that purchase the game Battlefield 6 are expecting to play Battlefield, not Call of Duty, not any other FPS that is just infantry only. Battlefield has vehicles. If a map has no vehicles, it might as well just be Call of Duty. Honestly, honestly, that I mean that's my opinion, right? But if a map has no vehicles, then it's just Call of Duty. It's just like any other FPS. Battlefield maps have vehicles, even if it's just like a small, Jeep or ATV or something, right? Or one tank or one IFV or something, If there's no vehicles, we're not playing Battlefield. We're just playing some other game that's not Battlefield. So anyway, I guess I'll wrap up and just hope that Dice and EA, get it together and you know, stop this graph from going down so fast because it's not good, guys. This game is dying way too quickly, and it's a quality game. Like it launched in a really good state. The performance was good. You know, it's actually a good game. Like the gameplay, all the things they added, like dragging your down teammates. That thing is really cool, right? Like they added a bunch of cool stuff. All we're missing is just good maps to play with. That's it. Even the guns are good for the most part. Vehicles could be stronger. There's small fixes that still need to be made, but we just need those big maps. If we had those bigger maps, I'm pretty sure the population will go back up, at least to like a over 100 to maybe 200,000, concurrent players or daily players. So anyway, you guys, this was a long rant, but I'm really hoping that Dice and EA, listen to the players and actually take the feedback to heart because we want those larger maps so we can have fun playing Battlefield, in Battlefield 6. That's just what it comes down to, right? Like I said, right? I want to spawn in as an engineer, go inside a tank, and then go into a helicopter, then go into a jet, then maybe play as a support, maybe snipe a little bit, maybe go and be an assault for a little bit. And it's awesome, right? Like all these modes, all these roles you can play in Battlefield. That's what makes Battlefield Battlefield. Like I hope they understand, because if not, this game is gonna die and it's gonna be really sad for all of us. So anyway, you guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you got any questions or anything that I talked about, let me know in the comments down below. Like I said, leave a like, subscribe for more, and I guess I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.